Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I would like to take a look at a deck for the CU Cup Trainer Trials. And that deck, of course, is going to be Cloyster. Now, Cloyster has a pretty weak attack for standard, to be honest. Protect Charge only does 80 damage for 2 water energy. However, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon would take 80 less damage from attacks, which is, quite sizable actually in a format like this, where most Pokemon are not doing a ton of damage, especially the likes of Dipplin. And we can also increase this damage reduction with cards like Pot Helmet, so this Pokemon will take 30 less damage if it doesn't have an ability, which Cloyster does not. And we also have the Stadium Lake Acuity, which says all Pokemon that have any water or fighting energy attached to it take 20 less damage from attacks. So yeah, we're just trying to take 130 less damage from attacks, basically. Now, you can also use, like, the Guzma like, tag call engine. So, like, if you don't know what that is, I'll just pull up a Guzma here. So, you can use the tag call item to find 2 different tag team supporters. And basically, Guzma and Hala will say, discard 2 cards from your hand, and you get to search your deck for a Stadium, a tool card, and a special energy. So, if you want to play around with, like, special water energy and things, like, you could definitely do that. But I just wanted to play like a box standard Cynthia, Raihan, Salvatore kind of build for a change. Just because I've played a lot of like Guzma lately, especially in the trainer trials. So I'm also playing Salvatore. So this guy basically just lets you evolve up immediately, and it just gives you a bit of additional protection, basically. Just because like your Pokemon are fairly fragile. Now, admittedly, I'm not playing like Aqua Patch, which is probably something this deck could do with. But that aside, I just like the option to Salvatore into things like Palafin as well, which kind of serves as an alternate attacker in this deck. So Vanguard Punch does 130 for a single energy, which is pretty nifty. It does do 10 damage to itself for each damage counter on it, so it can be a bit vulnerable. But in case you just need like another attacker, basically that's why Palafin is here. You could also use like double hit with double colorless if you want to play like Guzma and Haller and things, but I might try that out in the future, but yeah, not right now. I just want to try out something a bit more simple. Also got a copy of Tatsugiri in here, just for that ability to attract customers, and this is mainly just to help track down Salvatore a bit easier. But to be honest, I could definitely see it like an alternative version that just, doesn't play Tatsugiri, maybe swaps it out for Buddy and plays something like Greens instead. So Green says, if none of your Pokemon in play have an ability, then search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So, just a really nice, consistent supporter. Could also do with maybe like Aqua Patch and things, so I think there's definitely room for improvement with this list, and definitely a lot of things that could be changed around. As it stands, I just wanted to try out Cloyster as it is, and yeah, to see how it goes really. So yeah, it's been Ember Power. Let me know what you think about Cloyster down below, and yeah, thank you for watching. They could do things that way. Nope, just the pound. Okay, I'm getting pounded. Very nice. Draw a card, and it is an Air Balloon. Perfect. So we can actually do the whole... I think I'll just do the Cloyster play, actually. I think I'll just get the protection in. So I'll do the attract customers. And then I think what I might do here is actually just... yeah, okay, we'll do this. I will indeed just go for the Salvatore play on Finizen. And we'll just have to see what my opponent does from here. But yeah, we've got Palafin up, which is nice. We could attack with Palafin, but I don't think it's super necessary just yet. I kind of want to wait until Cloyster's used up its usability. And I also just want to attack with Cloyster. And, do Cloyster things, really. Because that's kind of the point of this video and such. So, I will retreat. And yeah, we'll just take a KO here. So nice, 80 damage. Comfortable swing. Lake Acuity would actually prevent a knockout, so we don't want to play that. Just protect charge. So next turn we can also Arven for a Pot Helmet, and probably just something like a Poffin. So one of the ways our opponent can just get out of this damage reduction is of course just gusting around. So they could like play a boss on Palafin potentially. But at the very least, we still have the energy for Palafin. So we'll just have to see what they do here. Okay, they're going to do much. Hopefully they do something. I really don't want to play like games against Dipplin today. Like, Cloyster has a decent time against Diplin, but it's just getting a wee bit boring seeing Festival lead in this format, so more interesting stuff would be cool. I have seen a spread Espeon deck, though, before, and they had, like, an Espeon with a Psychic attack that was uncommon, so maybe this is what this is. But there is a much better Eevee as well. Oh, this is going to be a sad game. That one has free retreat. Why would you do that? At least promote Palafin, surely. Unless they have Field Blower, maybe? Yeah, I mean, Iono's decent, but Tatsugiri still has free retreat, so... yeah, I'm guessing this is maybe like a player that's more used to standard, which is fair. Yeah, we've got Pot Helmet off that, which is good. We've got Poffin, we got Lake Acuity back, not too important, and we also got the energy. Okay, so there's a basic. Spritzy, interesting. Articuno. I don't actually know what this evolves into. Like, what does it do? That's the fun thing about this format, is you never truly know what your opponent's going to be doing. Alright, Articuno is admittedly a bit scary, but we can also just tank a hit, so cool beans. I think we can also just fully reduce Articuno's attack. Okay, so they don't do anything. That's definitely good for us. We got a Cynthia. Cynthia's just good, flat out. I will go ahead here and attach... I mean, I could start just attaching to another Cloyster, really, because Palafin only takes one energy, so... yeah, we'll get a Shellder and a Finizen out. Get these out the deck. We can also go ahead and find a supporter. And yeah, we'll use attract customers. I'm not going to play Lake Acuity. No need to do that. Guzma, I think, is a bit better in this situation, just in case they try and, like, Gust stall something up again. I'm not going to play the Stadium again. Definitely don't need to do that. And then we could just promote this guy. Take another knockout. And we'll use Protect Charge. So what my opponent might do here is they might promote Articuno and use the first attack. And then we'll get the first swing on Articuno, but then they might, like, boss KO something else. Okay, so that's good. We got the other Palafin. Yeah, so I think they might use Articuno to knock out something else, because we can't one-shot Articuno. They can't one-shot us, but they can one-shot something on the bench that's not a Palafin, so... and I guess Palafin can't really attack once it's damaged. So what they're going to do here... I was looking to do, like, an Articuno video for this format, but I think with only there being, like, a few days left, I don't think I can really justify it. Like, there's just a few more ideas that I would like to try and make work before Articuno. Plus, I think it would be very similar to, like, the Dondozo series, which is a series that I have enjoyed doing, but at the same time, like, it's a bit silly, like, it's a bit ridiculous. It's, you know, it's kind of a it's a one-note song, really, Dondozo. It's, yeah, nothing really too crazy. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's Eri. Didn't recognize it. I think that only discards items, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's like the artwork for the reformed version of Team Star, I guess. Okay, Ultra Ball. Discards a Colaver and something else. Dusclops, okay. So there must be a Quaxalava that's an uncommon then, surely. Ultra Ball getting something or other. I'm assuming like an Aromatisse, maybe, depending on what Aromatisse actually does. Confusion would be annoying. Like, Confusion's a big problem for Cloyster, and Confusion's also quite popular in this format, which I find quite interesting, because, like, Festival Lead just shuts down Confusion. Like, you can't confuse them, so it's kind of interesting that Confusion still sees a lot of usage in this format. Nope, just a Quaxley. Okay. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic, I must say. Especially since Fairy Wind's not going to do anything. So we are currently taking minus 110 damage. Yeah. So we would take no damage from Articuno, which is funny. So, I mean, we are doing Cloyster things. It's just my opponent's also not really doing anything, unfortunately. Maybe we top deck Iono and help them out a bit here, but... Fairy Wind for no damage. Yep. A bit sad. I don't think I'll attach energy, actually. Don't think it's super important. This could come back to bite me if they have Field Blower, but I don't think their list is running it. So I'm just going to evolve here, and then we don't need to do anything else. Like, we could attach an energy, but we don't really need to. So I'm just going to protect charge. 80 damage. I think I saw Virizion there for a split second. That was weird. Take a prize. This is definitely not the game with Cloyster that I wanted to play today, but I mean, I'll take it over being steamrolled by something that's really, really good, but you know, you want that sweet spot in between. Like, you don't want to steamroll your opponent, but you don't want your opponent to steamroll you. It's that weird kind of like content creation vibe. Like, you want something that's more of a back and forth duel, I guess. Because it's all well saying like, oh yeah, Cloyster's a great deck in this format, and I'm winning like 3-0, but like my opponent hasn't done anything and they've just conceded. So, you know, it's not really the same experience.